So let's look at this question. Product of Pragati's age 2 years ago and 3 years hence is 84. Find our present age. Now, whatever is, in all these word problems, in 95% of the cases, whatever is mentioned in the last line of the word problem, you can assume that to be x. That is a thumb rule. 90 to 95% of cases, that is only what is required. So I assume that the present age is x. Hence implies after. So product of Pragati's age 2 years ago and 3 years hence. So let's try to understand this, and my experience has been if you take a number line to understand this, it becomes easier to understand. So let me explain it using the number line. So this is the number line, and here what I have done is that this is today. So today I have assumed it to be x. Now the question is saying that 2 years ago. Now see, basic common sense. If you are 14 years today, so 2 years back you were 12 years, and after 3 years you will be 17 years. So it is as simple as it gets. So if this is x, then 2 years ago you were x minus 2, and after 3 years you will be x plus 3. This is one of the easiest question, and usually what I've seen is in all these age related word problems, my experience has been using a number line becomes easier. So but what you need to remember is what did you assume to be x. So for example, in this case, please remember that today's age is x. You can also start with assuming that 2 years was x, but then becomes a bit complicated, so this is easier to see. So what I'm trying to say is that if you assume this to be x, then this would be x plus 2, and this will be x plus 5. But this becomes usually students won't prefer it, so let's keep it as simple as is possible. Now they are talking about the product. So product of the ages are 84. So it's one of the simple questions. So x minus 2. Now what you need to understand is product of Pragati's age 2 years ago and 3 years hence. So they are talking about the product of these two ages. This is what you need to understand. So the product of these two is 84. So x minus 2 into x plus 3 is equal to 84. And then you open the bracket. This is the equation that you get. Now again, what I am sharing is 90 to 95% of the times, this equation that you have been given, this can be done by splitting the middle term. Splitting the middle term. 90 to 95% of the cases. Hardly I have seen any question where splitting the middle term is not useful, especially in word problems. So you split the middle term as a 10x minus 9x, and once you have split it, then the rest of the problem is easy. So x plus 10 is the first two terms x can be taken out. In the second two terms again x plus 10 is taken out. I'm assuming that you know splitting the middle term, so I won't be going into detail. If you don't know how to split a middle term, there are lectures in the playlist. You can have a look at that. Splitting the middle term is a very important tool in your skill set. So x minus 9, x plus 10. So because it's a quadratic equation, you will always have two answers. Now what you need to understand is that your present age you have assumed to be x, so it can't be negative. So you'll have to say that I am ignoring. You'll have to write this line, ignoring the negative age, or you can say ignoring the negative value of x. You can write the reason also as age can't be negative, age can't be negative, age can't be negative. So that the examiner knows that why are you ignoring this. So you should always write this line, whatever value that you are ignoring, you should mention in the paper that this is why I am ignoring, so that the examiner understands that you understand how the things are done. So therefore x is equal to 9. But then you need to mention that After that, you have found the value of x, then you have to write. Therefore, present age is equal to 9 years. And then look carefully at the question again. Find her present age. So they are asking about the present age. So this is your final answer. Now at times they might ask you, age 2 years back, or they might ask you the 3 years back. So or they might ask you 3 years hence, 5 years hence. So once you have solved the question, please have a look at the last line of the question again. What are they asking for? It is very critical to understand that. The second thing that you need to understand once you have solved the question is, please try to check whether the answer is correct or not. In all these word problems, you can always check. So let's check. So today your age is 9. Today your age is 9. 2 years hence it was 7. 3 years after it will be 12. 12 into 7 is 84. So our answer is correct. So this is how you do the questions. This is one of the easier quadratic equation. It was easier to solve. It was easy to formulate. So let's go to the next question. So question number 2. Let's have a look at question number 2. Sum of squares of two consecutive natural even numbers is 244. Find the numbers. Now, there are 2-3 things that we need to understand. The first thing is few of you might not know the word of the meaning of consecutive. Of course, all of you, I assume you know the meaning of natural as well as even. So there are 3 words being used here. Natural numbers, they start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. So this is the first word we need to understand. This is the second word that we need to understand. Consecutive implies one after another. So for example, 2, 4, 6, 8. So these are consecutive even numbers. So consecutive, natural, even. So these are the 3 things that we need to understand before we even start the question. Now let's have a look at the question again. Sum of squares of two consecutive natural even numbers is 244. Find the numbers. Now one thing that I want to share, because this will help you in lot of other situations also, is whenever they are asking you about any random even number, always assume the number to be 2x. Why 2x? Because you can put any value of x. So this 2 into x will become a even number. So let's try. So for example, if I put x is equal to 3, even then 2x is equal to 6. If I put x is equal to 5, even then the number is 5 to the 10. So what I'm trying to tell you is that whenever they are asking you any even number, always assume that the even number that you want to start with is 2x. But then what you need to understand is when you solve the question and when you find the value of x. So for example, you find the value, you solve the quadratic equation, you find the value of x is equal to 5. Always remember that the number that you have assumed is 10. Number is not 5, because the number that you want is twice of x. I hope you are able to understand this. If you are not able to understand this, I think by the end of this solution you will be able to understand. So this is about the random even number. Now if there are consecutive even numbers, now let's understand what do we do when there are consecutive even numbers. When there are consecutive even numbers. So when there are consecutive even numbers, for example, if first number is 2x, then the consecutive number would be 2x plus 2. Another number, if you want to have, it will be 2x plus 4. This is very useful when you are trying to solve the arithmetic progression questions also. This again will be useful. At times in arithmetic progression, this is not required here, but still I'll explain it to you. So for example, if they are asking for consecutive 3 even numbers, then you can have numbers like 2x, 2x plus 2, 2x minus 2. This is especially useful in arithmetic progression, the next chapter. You can ignore this for now, but what you need to understand for solving this question right now is that when they are asking for 2 consecutive even numbers, I'll assume 2x and then the other consecutive number, even number, would be 2x plus 2. I hope you are able to understand this. Now, I want to go a bit beyond because it will help you someday. If they are asking you about even numbers, because some of you might be curious to know that what if they ask us, odd numbers. Odd numbers. So whenever they are asking for odd numbers are 2x plus 1, can be 2x minus 1. So if I want to start, for example, if I had to find 2 consecutive odd numbers, then I'll take 2x plus 1, 2x plus 3. I can also take 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1. So these consecutive numbers, or logic of consecutive numbers, should be very clear. If there is nothing mentioned, let us assume there is nothing mentioned. So they are just asking you about the consecutive numbers. They have said that there are 2 consecutive numbers. Odd, even, they haven't mentioned anything. Then it will be x plus 1. Usually in AP they'll ask you about 3 numbers, 3 consecutive numbers. Then you can assume it to be x minus 1, x plus 1. So these are important kind of questions. You should try to do more and more these kind of questions. Consecutive. Please try to understand the meaning of consecutive. Now let's come back to the question which they are asking. So sum of square of 2 consecutive natural even numbers is 244. So they are asking us the sum of squares. Sum of squares. So if I assume my number to be 2x and 2x plus 2, these are my 2 consecutive even numbers, then what the question will become is 2x square. 2x plus 2, because I have to take the square of the numbers and I have to sum it. Sum of squares of 2 consecutive natural even numbers is 244. Please try to read a word problem multiple times so that you don't miss anything critical. It always helps. Try to read a question multiple times, especially if you are a beginner. You can read the question 5 times. So please don't worry. No one is stopping you from reading a question 5 times. That is what I always recommend students, that please read a word problem multiple times. So this is the quadratic equation that will be formed. And now let's look at the solution. So as I've discussed, the numbers are 2x and 2x plus 2. So I've taken the square of the numbers. You should understand how to expand 2x plus 2. If you are not comfortable with the expansion a plus b whole square, I will be using a plus b whole square case. So please look at the playlist given in the comment section. So this is 4x square, this is 4x square plus 4 plus 8x is equal to 244. I add these 8x square, 8x and 244 comes to the left hand side, so this becomes 240. Now see, one thing that I always suggest students is, please be very focused on what you are doing. Now if you look at this quadratic equation, you can do this quadratic equation. So try to solve this quadratic equation, but if you are aware, you will understand that I can take 8 outside. You can take 8 common. That's a trick you can use. So 8 common, once you have taken 8 common, then you have x square plus x minus 30, which is a far more comfortable quadratic equation to be working with rather than this 8x square plus 8x minus 240. So please, whenever you reach this stage where whenever you form a quadratic equation, please relook at the quadratic equation and try to see if there are numbers which can be factored out, so that the quadratic equation becomes an easier quadratic equation to work with. And once you have reached this stage, in word problems, usually 90% of the cases, you will just have to split the middle terms. 95% of the cases, they give a very simple quadratic equation to split. Splitting the middle term is very easy. I've hardly seen, usually it happens in prelims level. And they give a difficult equation, usually they'll give you an easy middle term to split and you can do it. But again, what I'm trying to say is that here, splitting the middle term is a critical skill. Again, if you are not aware how to do this, please have a look at the lecture in the comment section. You'll have to spend some time. So 6x minus 5x, and then you take factor out the x plus 6, and now you have two values of x. Here you'll have to mention why you are ignoring minus 6, because you know that your number is a natural number. So you'll have to mention that I am ignoring this value of x because I have been given natural number. If you look at the question, they are asking for natural numbers. So you'll have to mention. And now we come to this point. I think we were talking somewhere here. Now see, your x is 5. Your x is 5. But this is not the final answer. Because the number that you had assumed were 2x and 2x plus 2. These were the consecutive even numbers that you had assumed. So your final answer would be 10 and 12. This would be your final answer. And let's check whether 10 and 12 are okay. Are they the right? Do we have the right answer? So I have 10 and 12. So sum of square of two consecutive natural even numbers. So 10 square is 100. 12 square is 144. So 100 plus 144 is 244. So this is the correct answer. So the best thing about word problems is you can always check your answer. At the end of the question, you can always check your answer and find the numbers. So the numbers which you have to write are 10 and 12. Okay, so let's move to the, I hope this is, you didn't face any difficulty while looking at the solution. Let's go to the next question. Question number 3. So let's look at this question. In the orange garden of Mr. Madhusudan, there are 150 orange trees. The number of trees in each row is 5 more than that in each column. Find the number of trees in each row and column with the help of the following flowchart. I'll ignore the flowchart for now, that you can do on your own. I'll explain the question to you. There are few things that we need to understand. Let's understand that first, and then we'll start the question. So let us assume that you have a garden like this, where the first thing that you need to understand is that these are called rows. So for example, in this case, these are 2 rows, and these are what are called columns. These are what are called columns. So these vertical lines, they are called columns. So for example, you have, if you go to a parking lot, then you have the columns. You would have seen these columns in a parking lot. So they are straight, these columns in a parking lot. So these are called, so these straight are called columns. So these straight are called columns. The vertical one are called columns, and the horizontal one are called rows. These are rows. Now, what I want to, because I want to make it as simple as is possible. So for example, if you look here, So how many rows are there? So there are 2 rows. And how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns. So how many trees would be there? There would be 8 trees. I hope this is making sense. Let's take another example. I want to make it as simple as is possible. So for example, let me say that there are we have a situation like this where we have these are the, let us assume these are trees. Now first row, second row, third row. So there are 3 rows. First column, second column, third column, fourth column. So there are 4 columns. So how many trees would be there? There would be 3 into 4, 12 trees. So this is the. So what are rows and columns? I hope you have understood. If you are given rows and columns, how do you find the number of trees? I hope that is also you have understood. Now let's look at the question again. In an orange garden, Mr. Madhusudan has 150 orange trees. So Mr. Madhusudan has 150 orange trees. Number of trees in each row. So number of trees in each row is 5 more than that in each column. So what the question is saying is that if there are, let me write it here, is 5 more than each column. So what the question is saying is that the number of trees in each row, I'll write it here, number of trees in each row is equal to 5 times number of trees in each column. So this is how very simply you can write it down. And what it means is, let's now understand what it means. What it means is, let me draw it here. What it means is that let the number of trees in each column be x. So for example, the number of trees in each column be x. Then the number of trees in each row. So the number of trees in each row would be x plus 5. So you'll have a situation like this. You'll have a situation like this. You'll have a situation like this, where the number of trees in each row, number of trees in each column would be x. And the number of trees in each row would be x plus 5. Hope this is making sense. And once you have understood the funda of x and x plus 5, then as we have discussed before, the number of trees in the garden would be x multiplied by x plus 5, and x multiplied by x by 5 would be equal to 150 orange trees. Would be equal to 150 orange trees. I hope you have understood what I am saying. So, let me recap, because few of you might not have understood. So first thing that we understood was that these horizontal things are called rows and these vertical things are called columns. That's the first thing. Then if I have to find, this is the first very critical thing that you need to understand. The second thing that you need to understand is, if I have to find the number of trees in the garden, what do? I multiply the number of trees in a row by the number of trees in a column. So 4 multiplied by 2 will give you 8. Or you can do vice versa. You can do 4 into 2 also. One and the same thing. And then what we did was, we looked at the question. What the question was saying is that the number of trees in each row is equal to 5 times the number of trees in each column. So if there are x trees in each column, then the number of trees in each row would be x plus 5. Would be x plus 5. And if I multiply x by 5, x plus 5 into x, then I'll get the number of the total trees in the garden. The total trees in the garden, they are 150. If you are still not able to understand, I'll request you to review these last 5 to 10 minutes again. Then you will understand. So this is the situation I have shown you. So these are the number of trees. Each dot is representing a tree. So this is x plus 5. This is x. So If there are x t's here, then there are x plus 5 t's here. You multiply that, you come to 150. Come to 150. And hello. So once you have reached this stage, then the rest of the question is easy. Then you just have to form the quadratic equation x square plus 5x minus 150. And all these quadratic equations are usually easier to solve by splitting the middle term. So we have 5x. How we split is 5x is 15 minus 10. So you should know how to solve a quadratic equation using splitting the middle term. That's a very important skill that you need to understand. So because it's a quadratic equation, you'll always have two values of x. Now look at x is equal to minus 15. So x can't be minus 15 because x is the number of trees that you have assumed. X is the number of trees in a column that you have assumed. Remember that x is the number of trees. Number of trees in a column. So it can't be negative. So x is equal to, you'll have to say that x is equal to 10. And then finally you'll have to write here that number of trees in each column is 10 and number of trees in each row is 50, and 10 into 15 is 1. And that would be the final answer. This is the final answer. Now you can see, look at the flow chart. You can try to fill the flow chart. So number of trees in is x. This is the same thing that we followed. Number of trees in a row would be x plus 5. Then number of trees would be x into x plus 5. We found the quadratic equation. We found the value of x. Then we found the number of trees. Then we found the number of trees in a row. So I hope this is making sense. Good question good question, simple question. There are things that you can understand. And if you still haven't understood the funda of x into x plus 5, please have a look at the lecture again. Let's move to the next question. So let's look at this question now. Vivek is older than Kishore by 5 years. Okay, so Vivek is older than Kishore. Okay, sum of the reciprocals of their ages is 1 by 6. Find their present ages. So see, this is a simple question, but the problem is that you'll find the main problem that I've seen with students is they are not able to handle the uh, adding fractional algebraic expressions. They find a lot of difficulty. But I hope I am able to explain you how to solve these kind of equations. So otherwise the question is simple. This is the step where most of the students will face difficulty. But let's start the question. So if Kishore, you start with assuming that Kishore is x, and because Vivek is 5 years older, then Vivek's age is x plus 5. This I hope is simple. So for example, if you have a friend who is 10 years old and you are 4 years older than him, then your age will be 14 years. So I think this part is very simple. Now we come to the question. The question says sum of the reciprocal of their ages is 1 by 6. So I'll have to take reciprocal of this. So this will be 1 upon x. Reciprocal implies to flip. So for example, if 2 by 3 is a fraction, what will be the reciprocal of 2 by 3? It will be 3 by 2. Basically you flip. So for example, if 5 is a number, what is a reciprocal of 5? You flip 5. It becomes 1 by 5. So this is the meaning of a reciprocal. So this is the, once you take the reciprocals, so 1 by x and 1 upon x plus 5, then The sum of the reciprocals is 1 by 6. So our answer is 1 by 6. Now, how do we solve this equation? Now, before I go forward, I need to make sure that you understand how to. I hope you are able to understand how to add two fractions. I've seen a lot of students who face difficulty in adding two fractions also. So this part you should be clear. If you are not comfortable with this, I recommend you to look at a lecture in a playlist. I have made a exclusive lecture where I have taken addition and subtraction of fractions. You can have a look at that. But I'll try to, quickly I'll try to explain. If you know how to solve this, then you can, continue with the question. You can skip. Timestamp is available. So one way of doing fractional addition is that you take LCM. The first thing is you take LCM. So 7 into 3 is 21. So 21 divided by 3 is 7. So 2 multiplied by 7. Or 21 divided by 7 is 3. So 5 multiplied by 3. So the answer is 29 by 21. But this is a method which I have seen that students don't prefer. They find it difficult. Usually I have seen students find this method to be more comfortable. Here again you'll have to find the LCM of the denominators. The LCM is 21. Now 3 multiplied by 7 is 21. So therefore 2 multiplied by 7. Numerator and denominator would be multiplied by the same number. 7 multiplied by 3 is 21. So 5 into 3 is 15. Basically what we are trying to do is we are trying to make the denominators equal to the LCM. And then these two are what are called equivalent fractions. What are equivalent fractions? Whose denominators are same. Once we have reached this stage, then it becomes very simple, because if you have these are called like fractions, because the denominators are same. So 21 is same, then like fractions can be added just like that. So 14 plus 15 is 29 by 21. See, like we add numbers, similarly the algebraic fractions are also added. So this is the method one, where x into x plus 5 is the LCM. Then 1 multiplied by x plus 5 divided by x plus 5. So 1 multiplied by x. Again, this is one of the methods that student will find difficult. I'll suggest that you follow this B method, where you understand that the LCM would be x into x plus 5. First thing that you need to understand is that the LCM is x into x plus 5. This method is the same like we have done for numbers. See, adding algebraic fractions is the same as adding numeric fractions. They are one and the same. So LCM is x into x plus 5. Now, I multiplied the denominator by x plus 5. So I'll have to multiply the numerator by x plus 5. That is what I have done here. I have multiplied the denominator by x. So I'll have to multiply the numerator by x. So here the fraction becomes x plus 5 upon x into x plus 5. Here it becomes x upon x into x plus 5 is equal to 1 by 6. Try to understand this step. Whole of the question is simple. The only thing that you need to understand in this question is how to add the algebraic fractions. That is where the students face difficulty. But I hope I am able to explain it to you and you won't face any difficulty. So let's continue. Once I have reached this stage, now they have become like fractions. The denominators are same. You just have to add the numerators. X plus 5 plus x is equal to 1 by 6. So this will be 2x plus 5 upon x into x plus 5 is equal to 1 by 6. And then you have to cross multiply. So 6 into 2x plus 5 and x into x plus 5. Solve this. Then this is the quadratic equation which is found. Once you reach the stage of the quadratic equation, Most of the questions will be done by splitting the middle term. You should know how to split the middle term, very important. So I have split the middle term like this, minus 10x plus 3x. And then I solve and I get two values of x. So one of the values of x is minus 3. Another value is 10. Now look carefully what was our x. Our x was the age of Kishore. Age of Kishore can't be negative. So you'll have to mention here that ignoring x is equal to minus 3 because age can't be negative. So x is equal to 10. So what you have understood now is that age of Kishore is 10 years. And therefore age of Vivek will be 15 years. What are they asking? They are asking their present ages. So our answer would be age of Kishore is 10, age of Vivek is 15, and we can verify this answer. Let's take the reciprocal 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 15. So the LCM is 30. So 10 3s are 15 2s are. So this is 5 upon 30 and this is equal to 1 by 6. And 1 by 6 is the correct answer. So adding or subtracting algebraic fractions. I made a separate lecture for this. Please have a look at that also. It is mentioned in the comment section. Please have a look at that because I've seen a lot of students struggling with it. Let's go to the next question. So in this question, Suyash scored 10 marks more in second test than in the first. So just let's first focus on this line, then we will go ahead. So the meaning of this line is that let us say in the first test he had scored 35 marks out of a total of 50. Then in the second test, what has happened is he has scored 10 marks more, so that he has scored 45 marks now. So this is the meaning of the first line. Now let's go to the second line. 5 times the score of the second test is same as square of the score in the first test. Now again, this is a line which will confuse a lot of students. So we'll try to understand this as much as we can. So let's go this part by part. 5 times the score of the second test is same as square of the score in the first test. Now either we have to assume the second test to be x or we have to assume that the first test is x. But let's look at the last line. Find his score in the first test. So usually whatever is the last line, we can assume that to be x and then start doing the question. So find his score in the first test. So I'll assume that this score in the first test is x. So I'll assume that the score in the first test is x. So because score in the second test is 10 times more than the score in the first test, so therefore in second test the score would be x plus 5. So what are the lines I have used till now? I have used this line, find a score in the first test. I assume that to be x. Then I have used this line, Suyash scored 10 marks more in the second test than in the first. So this would be 10. This would be 10. This would be 10. So in the first test, we assume that he has scored x, and from line number 1, we came to understand that in the second, he has scored x plus 10 marks. Okay. And now let's look at the second line. 5 times the score of the second test. Okay. So I'll just do simple translation of this. I'll just do simple translation. So five times the score of the second test. So 5 times the score of the second test is the same. So this will be is equal to the square of the score in the first test. I hope this is clear. So what in the second line, what we understand is that if we take 5 times the score in the second test, that will be equal to the square of the score in the first test. So basically, whenever you find difficulty, try to be, try to translate it as closely as possible in terms of maths. So, for example, we translate in, let us, I have to translate from English to Hindi. So, for example, a line like, uh, I like to go to movies. So, for example, if this is a line in English and I have to translate this into Hindi, and let's assume that either my Hindi or English or both are weak. So, word by word, how will I try to translate? So, I matlab मैं, like matlab चाहना, चाहना, to go to, जाना, to movies, movies matlab picture देखना, picture, picture देखना. So, once I have to translate into Hindi, I'll read it like मैं चाहता हूँ जाना पिक्चर देखना. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is कि similarly whenever there is a word problem, you should literally try to translate it into maths. So just to explain it again, 5 times the score of the second test. So 5 times the score in the second test is x plus 10, is the same as square of score in the first test, square. So this is the square. So now this will be the quadratic equation. I just have to solve this, and it's a simple quadratic equation. Now, say 80% of the job is done. We just have to solve this. So this is the solution. So I have first test I assumed to be x, second was x plus 10. This is the translation I have done. Now I just have to open the bracket. So 5x plus 50 is equal to x square. So x square minus 5x minus 50 is equal to 0. So I'll be using splitting the middle term. That is the easiest, and most of the word problems splitting the middle term works. So this will be minus 10x plus 5x minus 50 is equal to 0, and when I do this, I get two answers, x is equal to 10 and x is equal to minus 5. So now what is my x? X is my marks. Now can the marks be negative? No, marks can't be negative. So I'll have to mention here that ignoring x is equal to minus 5, you have to give the reason because marks can't be negative. So therefore, the marks are x is equal to 10. So he has scored 10 marks in the first test. He has scored 10 marks in the first test and therefore 20 in the second. And now, is it satisfying the condition that was given in the question? So 5 times the second, 5 times the second is equal to square of first. Is it satisfying? Of course it is satisfying. So our answer is correct. X is equal to 10. So what are they asking? Find a score in the first test. So this will be 10. I hope this is making sense. So he scored 10 marks in the first test. And now let's go to the next question. So next questions, they would be a bit difficult. There would be production cost, number of pots. There will be upstream, downstream. Students find this difficult. There will be this work question, again a bit of difficult. This is a bit difficult. So these next 10 questions would be a bit difficult. But we'll try to do our best. So let's continue. So next question, Mr. Kasam runs a small business of making earthen pots. He makes certain number of pots on daily basis. Okay, not much information here, not much mathematical information here. Now the math starts from here. Production cost of each pot is rupees 40 more than 10 times total number of pots he makes in one day. So this is a lot to digest. Let's uh, go about understanding this step by step. 40 is rupees 40 more than, it's rupees 40. Rupees 40 more than 10 times total number of pots he makes in one day. So let's start with the simple thing that here, let's say that he makes X pots per day. Yeah, he makes X pots per day. So production cost of each pot. So the production, this is makes in a day. Makes in a day. Basically, this is his daily production. And the cost of each pot, the cost of each pot is 40 more than 10 times total number of pots he makes in one day. 40 more than 10 times. 40 more than 10 times. So how we understand this is, see, he makes X pots per day. So 10 times of this would be 10x. And you add 40 more here. So 40 plus 10x implies 40 more than 10 times the number of pots that he makes in a day. So now, see, the information that we have is that he makes X pots per day and cost of each pot is rupees 40 plus 10x. So rupees 40 plus 10x is the cost per pot, and he makes X pots per day. I hope you are clear till here. Okay. If production cost of all the pots per day is rupees 600. Now try to make an equation. If you can't make an equation, please continue listening to me. But what I'll strongly recommend is you should pause the video right now and try to make the equation on your own. You can pause it now or you can continue. So let me make this simpler. Let us say that he makes, just for a number, let's say that he makes 10 pots per day. 10 pots per day. Fine. Now the cost of production per pot. This is cost of production per pot. It is 40 more than 10 times this. So 10 times this is 100 and then 40 more. So this is rupees 140. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you want to calculate his cost of production per day, it will be equal to 10 pots per day he makes multiplied by the cost of production of per pot, and that is rupees 140. So in this random example of ours, his cost of production of 10 pots is rupees 1400. This is just to illustrate the question, because with numbers it becomes easy to understand. But in terms of, we have to make the equation in terms of algebra. So in terms of algebra, what we need to understand is that he makes X pots per day. Cost of production is 40 plus 10x. So his cost of production, I'll erase this now because I don't require this. So his cost of production per day, total cost of production per day, let me write it here, total cost of production per day would be equal to x multiplied by 40 plus 10x. So basically in terms of algebra, we can write this as 40 plus 10x into x. So this is his cost of production per day. And this is equal to production cost of all parts per day is rupees 600. So basically this that we have written here is equal to the cost of total cost of production of all the pots, that is rupees 600. So our equation will be 40 plus 10x into x. 40 plus 10x into x. This will be our quadratic equation, and then we'll have to solve this. So this is x. This is x. So we'll have a quadratic equation in this form. 40 plus 10x into x is equal to 600. Then this is how we solve the question. So number of pots in one day is equal to x. Cost of pot is 40 plus 10x, and this is how we'll make the equation. X square plus 4x minus 60 is equal to 0. So you can look at the steps, easy steps. Now all these word problems, most of these word problems, they can be solved by splitting the middle term. It is very easy. So try to do on your own. So this is how you can do the question. This 4x can be split as 10x minus 6x. And finally, because it's a quadratic equation, you'll have two values of x. So one would be in our case, one is positive, another is negative. We can't take negative because our x is number of pots per day. Number of pots per day can't be negative. So we'll have to ignore this. We'll go with x is equal to 6. Now when x is equal to 6, so what it implies is that he's making 6 pots in a day. He's making 6 pots in a day. And the cost of each is 10x is 60 plus 40, 100. So basically cost of each pot is rupees 100. And that is why his total production cost of the number of pots that he makes in one day is 6 into 100 is equal to 60. So 6 pots per day and rupees 100 is the manufacturing cost of each pot. And that is what they are asking us. Find the production cost of one pot. We have found number of pots he makes per day. So this is how these questions are done. And my suggestion to you would be that whenever you see a word problem, if you are able to do it at one go, great. Otherwise, you'll have to maybe read the word problem again and again so that you are able to understand. And you can break the sentence into two parts and then try to understand. Translate, basically you have to translate the maths, the English which is written in the word problem into maths, into mathematical notation. That is what a word problem does. So hope this was useful. Let's go to the next question. Question number 7. These board problems, initially they are a bit, so for first timers they are a bit difficult, but these are standard problems that we have to solve in class 10. So now let's start question number 7. Hello. So let's look at the next question now. Pratik takes 8 hours to travel 36 kilometers downstream and return to the same spot. The speed of boat in still water is 12 km per hour. Find the speed of the water current. So there are actually four things that you'll have to understand whenever you see a boat problem like this. So see, the first thing that we need to understand is that there is something called the uh, speed of the boat in still water. So this will be still water, and there will be the speed of the boat in still water. For ease, let me call it as b kilometer per hour. So this is the first thing that you need to understand. Second thing, so this b kilometer per hour is the speed of the boat. I'll write it here. Speed of boat is the speed of boat in still water. So this will be mentioned as b kilometer per hour. So this is the first thing that you need to understand. Second thing that you need to understand is that there is a speed of the stream. So it can be stream, it can be river. Let's see what they have mentioned here. Stream. So let me call the speed of the stream as s kilometer per hour. So s is the speed of stream. Speed of stream is s kilometer per hour. S kilometer per hour. Now, what you need to understand is the meaning of upstream. The meaning of upstream. Usually I represent it like this, upstream. So basically what this implies is that the water is coming down. The river, you are basically facing the river. So what it implies is that your boat is against the river. Your boat is against the river. So water is coming from the opposite side and you are paddling in this side. So this will be the speed of stream. So this will be s, and your speed would be b. Now here what you need to see, this is what is called upstream. Upstream implies you are going against the stream. Now here the very important thing that you need to understand is that in all cases the speed of the boat should be more than the speed of the stream, because if the stream has greater speed and you are not able to manage having a speed more than the stream speed, then you will go back. So always remember that b would always be greater than s, and your net speed would be b minus s. So if you want to take an example, so let us say that the stream is coming at 15 km per hour. So the speed of the boat should be 20 km per hour, and that is why the net speed of the boat would be 5 km per hour. So this is what happens when we are going upstream. Upstream implies you are going against the stream. The river is coming or the stream is coming from the opposite side and you are going from this side. That is what is called upstream. Then there is something which is called downstream. But downstream implies that the river is flowing in this direction and you are also boating in this direction. So the river or the stream is in this direction and you are also boating in this direction. So in this case, your net speed will increase. You will go at a speed of s plus b because the river will or the stream will act to your speed. So in short, what I'm trying to tell you is, usually I represent upstream like this and downstream like this, because it becomes a bit easier to understand. So when you are going upstream, the speed of the stream would be subtracted, and when you are going downstream, the speed of the stream would be added to the stream to the speed of the boat. So the net would be b minus s, and here it would be b plus s. I hope this is making sense. Oh, in short, what I'm trying to tell you is that when you are going upstream, your speed decreases. I'm sorry, your speed decreases, and when you are going downstream, your speed increases. Your speed downstream. Let me call it up. And when you are going downstream, your speed effectively increases. So I hope this is making sense till here. Now let's come to the question again. So Pratik takes 8 hours to travel 36 km downstream and return to the same spot. Speed of the boat in still water is 12 km per hour. Find the speed of the water current. Fine. So now what I'll do is I'll assume that the water current is, let me call this as x. So speed of water current be x, and speed of still water is 12. So this is how the situation is now. So upstream, downstream. So when you are going upstream, because you are facing the water, and the speed of water is you have assumed to be x. So x would be subtracted from the speed of the boat, which is 12. And in this case, because water would be supporting your motion, so plus x. So this is upstream, this is downstream. See, I'm just referring it as the arrow is going up. That doesn't mean that the water is going up. I just want to represent it as simple as possible. So basically you are facing the water, so that is why your speed of the boat will decrease. That is all that I want to make clear. And another thing that you need to understand is that these are speeds, so this will be in kilometer per hour. Very important to understand this. Let's go back. He takes 8 hours to travel 36 km downstream and return to the same spot. So basically what he does is, he goes 36 km this side. He comes back. So in our representation, we can show it like this. He goes 36 km upstream. This is kilometer. He comes 36 km downstream. When he goes 36 km upstream, his net speed is 12 minus x. 12 minus x kilometer per hour. And here it is 12 plus x kilometer per hour. Now, one formula that you need to understand is that time is equal to distance upon speed. Now, look carefully here. Look carefully here. I'll just erase this because I don't need this anymore. Now look carefully here. So 36 km he is going at a speed of 12 minus x km per hour. So the time taken upstream, let me call this T1, would be 36 upon 12 minus x. And when he is now flowing with the stream, this T2 would be equal to 36 upon 12 plus x. And as per the question, the total time he takes is 8 hours. So T1 plus T2 is 8. And now all I need to do is I need to put the value of T1 and T2. So 36, 12 minus x plus 36, 12 plus x is equal to 8. Now, See, this is anyways, these kind of questions, the river questions are usually tough. Students face a lot of difficulty when they are solving this, and it takes time when you are doing these questions the first time. And the second problem in these kind of question is that this quadratic equation which becomes, it's a fractional algebraic equation. So this is a bit difficult to solve. There's another question where I had explained the algebraic equations in detail. There was a reciprocal question. This question. You can refer to this question number 4. I have explained how to solve these kind of equations in question number 4. I'll put the link also. You can have a look at that. Because in detail I have gone through how to solve these kind of questions. So I'll be skipping few things. But let's go ahead in how to solve this. So the first thing that you do when you have to solve an equation like this is you take the common factors out. So for example, on both sides you can have 4 as common factors. So I can take 4. See, this algebra that I am doing, this is a bit difficult algebra. So many of the students face difficulty. But I will try to make easy, but it's not. It can't be made easier beyond a point. I hope you understand. So 4 has been taken out, and here you have 8. So this 4 and this 8 will cancel. So I'll have 2. I'll have 2 here. And then what I do is I'll take this 2, 9 common. So I'll have an equation like this. This I can write it as 1 upon 12 minus x plus 1 upon 12 plus x is equal to 2 upon 9. So this is a far easier equation to solve than this, because it has 36, 36, 8. Here you have only 1, 1 and 2 by 9. And then we'll have to solve this to find the value of x. I'll show you the solution, I've done the solution, I'll show you the solution. So this is all that we have discussed till now. So still water is x, Pratik's boat in still water is 8, is 10. And this is the equation we formed. So T1 plus T2 is equal to 8. And then I have taken the 9 out, and I've taken the 9 out. So now the denominator is x plus 10 and 10 minus x. So here I'll write 10 minus x, here I'll write x plus 10 is equal to 2. I'll request you to refer to that solution of question number 4 again, please. There I have explained this in detail. There also similar algebraic equation is formed. So there I had gone in detail. I'll show you the equation which was formed. See, this is the equation which was formed in question number 4. So please refer to the lecture of question number 4 again. So in the numerator now, this x and x cancels. So I have 9 into 20. This would be 10 plus x into 10 minus x. This is a plus b into a minus b. This will be a square minus b square. So 9 into 20 upon 100 minus x square is equal to 2. And this can be assumed to be 2 upon 1. We do cross multiplication. So this is 9 into 20 is equal to 2 into 100 minus x square. So, and then we can cancel 2 on both sides. So this 2 and this will cancel. So this will be 90 is equal to 100 minus x square, and x square would be equal to 100 minus 90. So x square would be equal to 10 and x is equal to plus minus root 10. So basically the speed, because x can't be negative. So my x is root 10 km per hour, approximately 3.33 km per hour. So this is what the value of water current is. So this is a bit tedious question. I understand that all of us, when we did these river questions, they were a bit difficult to understand. These are the family of problems which are difficult to understand. This river boat problem, then there is this work problem. The next question is also a bit tough. So these kind of questions are a bit tough. I'll show you some other tough questions. These water tank and tap problems are also tough. You will have to see these multiple times and maybe try to do more questions, more and more such questions if you want to, master these kind of questions. You can refer to the playlist I have made. There are a lot of quadratic equations questions there, word problems there. You can refer to that. Basically, it's all about practice. The more you practice, the easier it gets. So let's move to the next question. Question number 8 about Pinu and Nishu. Question number 8. Hello. So let's look at this question. Pinu takes 6 days more than Nishu to complete certain work. If they work together, they finish it in 4 days. How many days would it take to complete work if they work alone? So these are the work problems. Usually these are the kind of problems that students don't understand easily. Let me try if I can make sense of these problems to you. So okay, let's see. So for example, one thing that you can assume is that so for example, this is the work that has to be done. This is a W work which has to be done. Now, one thing that you need to understand is that any work, maybe cleaning your room, So let us assume that you can clean your room in 2 hours. Yeah. So you can. So W would be the work of cleaning your room. So independently, when you are working, you can complete this work in 2 hours. And now let us assume that you have a younger sister who helps you clean the room. Yeah. So you can do it in 2 hours. But the younger sister, if she is working alone, she takes 3 hours. Okay. Now, I'll repeat what is happening. There is a room that has to be cleaned. So cleaning the room is a work denoted by W. If you are only cleaning the room, it will take 2 hours. If you work with your younger sister, she helps you, and in the first case, let's imagine that she is working alone. You tell your sister that you tell your sister that she independently has to clean the room. So she will clean the room in 3 hours. Okay. Now, common sense says if both of you are working together, your sister is working and you are also working. This is complete common sense, so we are not using maths in it. If you think about it, the time it will take would be less than 3 hours and 2 hours. I hope this is making sense. So, because both of you are working together, so now it will take less than 3 and 2 hours to finish the work, which is cleaning the room. Now, there's another thing that I need to discuss with you, that if you are working alone, then in 2 hours, you complete the work. But in 1 hour, how much work you would have completed? Of course, you would have completed W by 2 work. Again, common sense, not much of maths is required. Similarly, when we take the example of your sister, younger sister, when she is working independently, she completes the work in 3 hours. In 1 hour, she would have finished W by 3 of the work. She would have finished 1/3 of the work. I hope it is making sense. And if I ask you that now both of you are working together, both of you are working together in 1 hour, how much work can you complete? See, in 1 hour you will complete W by 2 work. Your sister will complete W by 3 work. So let's add this together. Half plus 3. So LCM is 6. So this will be 3 plus 2. This will be W 5 by 6. So in 1 hour, if both of you are working together, you will complete 5 by 6th of the work. In 1 hour, you will complete 5 by 6th of the work. Now, let me ask you that how, if you both of you are working together, you have to complete the work. How long will it take? Yeah. So you can say that both of you will take 5 to complete 5/6 of the work. You take 1 hour. Now, if you have to complete whole of the work, that is, in a way, I can write one work. You will take 6 by 5 hour. That will be, so we can leave it here only. So, see, what I'm trying to tell you in the previous discussion till now is that this is how you have to approach these work problems. One critical thing that you need to understand, for example, in our case, the critical thing that you need to understand is this part. This is very important part that you need to understand. That if a work W can be completed in 2 hours, in 1 hour W by 2 work would be done, half the work would be done. And if there is someone who can complete whole of the if in whole of the work someone can complete in 3 hours, in 1 hour that person will complete only W by 3 of the work. So this relation has to be understood, because vice versa, another thing that you will, once you have understood this, you will understand. So if these two people are working together in 1 hour, they'll be able to complete, this person would have completed half the work, this person would have completed 1/3 of the work. So in 1 hour, if working together, they would have completed 5/6 of the work. So once you understand this relationship, you also understand that then you can, the inverse also, you can understand that if 5/6 of the work can be completed in 1 hour, so to complete the full work, you require 6 by 5 hours. I hope it is making sense. Usually these things are a bit difficult to understand. You might have to look at whole of this discussion again, and then you can try to do the question on your own. So let's try to understand this question again. After this discussion, let's try to understand this question again. So in this case, Pintu takes 6 days more than those of Nishu to complete certain work. So Pintu takes 6 days more than Nishu if they work together. So let's try to understand the first line. So I'll start with a simple thing that let us assume that Nishu takes 6 days to complete the work, because Pintu takes 6 days more. So Pintu will take x plus 6 days. X plus 6 days. Now, if you have understood my discussion, what you will understand is that in 1 day, Nishu would have completed, if Nishu completes the work W in x days, then in 1 day, Nishu would have completed W by x of the work, and Pintu would have completed in 1 day W upon x plus 6 of the work. And when they are working together in 1 day, both of them will complete W by x plus W upon x plus 6 of the work. This is the work they complete in one day. I'll explain it again because this is a bit difficult to understand. So let me take you through the question again. So Pinu takes 6 days more than those of Nishu to complete certain work. So let us say that Nishu takes X days to complete the work. So Nishu takes X days to complete the work. Now Pinu takes 6 days more. So Pinu will complete the work in X plus 6 days. Yeah. So in one day, Nishu will have completed W by X of the work. And in one day, this is when they are working alone. So Nishu working alone in one day will complete W by X of the work. And Pinu working alone in one day will complete W by X plus 6 of the total work. And now they start working together in one day. They'll be able to complete W upon X plus W upon X plus 6 of the work. This is the work that they have completed in one day when they are working together. I hope you are able to understand this. Now let's go to the second line. If they work together, they finish it in 4 days. So now if they work together, they finish it in 4 days. So in one day, they have finished W by X plus W upon X plus 6 of the work. In 4 days, they would have finished 4 into W upon X plus W upon X plus 6 of the work. I'll put this in bracket. And this would have completed the work, and this would be equal to W. I hope you are able to understand. If you are not able to understand, you will have to rewind. But finally, this is the equation which is formed, and this is the equation which will help us solve the question. I'll take you through the working again. I hope it helps. So let's look at the working again. So first we take the case of Nishu. So whole work she can complete in X days. So in one day she completes W by X of the work. I think this should be clear. Now Pinu completes whole of the work in X plus 6 days. He takes 6 days more. So in one day he is able to do W upon X plus 6 of the work. Now see, what you need to understand is that now when they are working together in one day, they will complete W by X plus W upon X plus 6 of the work. This is in one day. But they have completed the work in 4 days. So in 4 days, how much work they would have completed? This whole multiplied by 4. And in 4 days they complete the work. So this would be equal to W. I hope now it is making sense. So in one day, when both of them are working, they complete this amount of work. And in 4 days, they complete 4 multiplied by 4 W upon X plus W upon X plus 6. And this is equal to the complete work. So the equation would be this 4 W upon X plus W upon X plus 6 would be equal to W, the whole work. And we take this W common. From here when this is W. And this W and this W will cancel. So that is why I have written this as 4 multiplied by 1 upon X plus 1 upon X plus 6 is equal to 1. So see, this is a difficult question. I can understand many of you would be uncomfortable solving this because another problem is to solve these algebraic equations. Solving these equations is again a challenge, but let's try to understand how these kind of equations are solved. So I have solved it here. So when I take this equation, so X into X plus 6 is the LCM. So this is the LCM. So this is X plus 6, this is X is equal to 1. So 4 into 2X plus 6, and in the denominator, I'll add a step here so that you don't get confused. Let me write another step here. So this is 4 into 2x plus 6 upon x square plus 6x is equal to 1. So now I do cross multiplication. This is 1 upon 1. So this will be x square plus 6 into 1. So this is what I have written here. And this will be 4 into 2x plus 6 into 1. This is what I have written here. And then I have to open the bracket. This would be 8x plus 24 is equal to x square plus 6, and then this equation is formed. Now I have discussed this many times before. These kind of equations can be solved by splitting the middle term. So by splitting the middle term, you get these two answers, minus 4 and 6. See, you can't take x is equal to minus 4 because work can't be completed in negative days. So x is equal to 6. But what is our x? X is the time that Nishu takes. She takes 6 days to complete the full work, and Pintu takes 6 days more. So he would complete the work in 12 days. Now, if you want to check the answer, see, what you need to understand is that Nishu takes 6 days to complete the work. Pintu takes 12 days to complete the work. In one day, Nishu will complete 1/6 of the work. In one day, Pintu will complete 1/12 of the work. When they are working together, in one day, they will have completed 1 plus 6 plus 1 upon 12. This will be 2 plus 1 is 3. So this will be 1 upon 4. So in one day, they would have completed 1/4 of the work. So in 4 days, they will complete the full work. And that is what is given. That in 4 days, they complete whole of the work. This is what it is given. It is 4 days. So our answer is correct. That Nishu takes 6 days if she is working alone to complete the work, and Pintu takes 12 days if he is working alone to finish the work. And when both of them are working together, they take 4 days to complete the work. I'll strongly suggest to you to look at this lecture twice or thrice, because this is a bit confusing topic. But I hope this lecture helps. Okay, next, let's go to the next question. Question number 9. Make some space. If 460 is divided by a natural number, quotient is 6, more than 5 times the divisor, and the remainder is 1, find the quotient and the divisor. The first thing about this question is that we need to understand what is a quotient, what is a divisor, what is the remainder. So these are the things that we need to understand first. So let's understand these first. Okay. So many of you would know this from lower classes. Few of you would have forgotten, but let's review these again. So the number which is being divided is called the dividend, and this is being divided by a number. So for example, when we write something like 9 upon 2, so 9 is a number that is the dividend, and 2 is the divisor. So 2 is dividing 9. Now whatever you write here, so for example in this case it will be quotient would be 4, and what is the remainder? So this is how it is written. So that is what I have written here. So this is the dividend, this is the divisor, this is the quotient, and this is the remainder. Now there is a very interesting fact. Most of you would know this. Again, few of you might not know this. This 9, that is the dividend. Dividend can be written as the multiplication of the divisor and the quotient. the divisor and the quotient, and then you add the remainder. You can take another example. So for example, let us take example of 17. 17 divided by let us say 3. So 3 4 the 16, 1. So 17 would be equal to 3 into 4 plus 1. Now this is an interesting fact. Many of you would know this, but the few of you who don't know, please try to do 2-3 more such questions so that you understand, because that is what we will be using in this question. So this is what you need to remember when you are doing a question like this. That dividend is equal to divisor multiplied by quotient into remainder. So this is something that you need to understand. Once we have understood this, now let's look at the question again. So the question is that 460 is divided by a natural number. Quotient is 6, more than 5 times the divisor, and the remainder is 1. Find quotient and divisor. Okay, let's look at this again. So I understand. I think now you would have got this. Let me write it here again. So this is my dividend. This is my divisor. This is my quotient. And finally, I'll have my remainder. Now, in this case, in the given case, quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor. So 5 times the divisor. So let me assume that my divisor is x. Now quotient is 6 more than, because it's more than, so I am adding plus 5 times the divisor, and my divisor is x. So basically my quotient would be 6 plus 5x. I hope you have understood this point. So this is what I have written here. So this is the number which is being divided. 460 is divided by a natural number. So 460 is being divided. I have assumed that my divisor, this is my divisor, my divisor is x. I think there is a spelling mistake. You can write this as divisor. So x is my divisor, and they have said that the quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor. So that is why I have written 6 plus 5x here, and they have also mentioned that the remainder is 1. If you see, let me erase all this. The remainder is 1. If you see, they have mentioned that the remainder is 1. So that is what I have written here. The remainder is 1. So therefore, using all this, what is the equation I can form? The equation I can form is that I can write the 460 as a multiplication of x into 6 plus 5x. 6 plus 5x into x. And then I add a remainder of 1 into it. So 460, I just have to open the bracket. 6 plus 5x into x. So this would be 6x plus 5x square plus 1. This is 5. This is 5. And therefore my equation would be 5x square. 5x square plus 6x minus 459. Now, see, I always prefer to do these kind of word problems using splitting the middle term, because my experience has been in 95-96% of the cases that the splitting the middle term always works. Rarely I have seen questions in which the splitting the middle term doesn't work. But in this case, what you will observe is that finding splitting the middle term can become challenging for few questions, because I want a number which should be like 5 into 459. Now 459 is divisible by 3. So using this, you can form some factors of 459. Then you can further form the factors of 51. And then what you need to understand is, see, the trick to understand is that 459 into 5 would be a big number. Now what we want is, because one of the numbers is negative, this number is small. So the two numbers would be big numbers. That is a sort of hint that I can share with you. They will be big numbers like 51 and 45. So whenever you see big numbers at play, please understand they won't be small numbers, they'll be big numbers. So 51 and 45, big numbers. So 51 and 45 are how we split the middle term of 6x. So now 5x plus 51 I take common, x is common, 5x plus 51 here, and finally the numbers are x is equal to 9 and x is equal to minus 51 by 5. Now 460 is divided by a natural number. Because there is a natural number, so I have to ignore this. So you will have to mention this, that this value, whenever you don't take the value of x, you have to mention that why you are not taking the value of x. This value of x is neglected because x is a natural number. It is given that it's a natural number. So therefore x would be equal to 9. Now when x is equal to 9, let's try to understand what is happening. When x is equal to 9, this is 460. So this would be 6 plus 5 into 9. 9 5 is 45 plus 6 51. So 9 5 is 45. 9 1s are 9. So everything is perfect. 51 is 6 more than 5 times 9. So everything is fine. So our answer makes sense. This is our divisor. This is our divisor. This is our quotient. This is our remainder. And this is the dividend. Hope this is making sense. So interesting question. All of these questions that we have done, actually all the questions that we are doing in this practice set 2.6, they are very good questions. There is a lot to learn. And further we'll be doing the word problems, these word problems also, word problems from 8 to 15. Again, excellent quality of word problems. So I really like the kind of word problems that are being discussed in this book. So let's move ahead. Question number 10. There's a trapezium which is given. In the adjoining figure, ABCD is a trapezium. AB is parallel to CD. So these two are parallel lines. Area is 33 centimeter square. Before I go ahead, I should tell you what is the area of a trapezium. Area of trapezium is half sum of parallel sides. Sum of parallel sides multiplied by distance between them. Multiplied by distance between them. For example, in this case, there are two parallel lines. So AB is parallel to CD. So length of AB is x, length of CD is 2x plus 1. So we have to take sum of the parallel side. So it will be x plus 2x plus 1 multiplied by distance between them. X minus 4 is the distance between them. So this would be the area. This area would be equal to 33 centimeters square. So actually this is fairly simple question. All that you need to understand is basically all that you need to know is the area of a trapezium. So please remember this is an important formula. At times students forget this, that what is the area of a trapezium. Please remember this. So from the information given, find all the sides of the trapezium. Now another mistake that students make is that they find the value of x and then they assume that the value of x is the final answer. See, in a question like this, what you need to understand is you really need to understand what he is asking you. From the information, find the length of all sides of the trapezium ABCD. So finding x will only give you this. So once you have x, you'll also have to find the value of x minus 2. You'll also have to find the value of x minus 4. So AM is a perpendicular and that is why AM is the perpendicular distance between these two lines. then you will have to find the value of 2x plus 1. So all these sides have to be given. This is a symbol which means if this is x minus 2, then again this is also x minus 2. So you'll have to mention, because they are asking you all the sides. You'll have to mention AB is equal to this. So at the end of your solution, you'll have to mention AB is equal to this. Don't make this mistake. You'll have to mention that BC is equal to AD is equal to whatever is your value, you'll have to mention. Then you'll have to find the value of CD also. Okay? Because CD is also the side of the quadrilateral. So fill in the empty boxes to get the solution. So they have given a flow chart, but let's ignore the flow chart. You can see what they have mentioned. So basically you have to fill the value here. I think once you look at the solution, you'll be able to do that. So let's start the solution. And once you have the solution, you'll be able to do this. So let's look at the solution. So as I've told you, this is the equation that will be formed. This is the equation that will be formed. Now solving this is a bit tricky. So what you do is a bit tricky for a few of the students. Multiply both sides by 2. This 2 will cancel. So it will be 3x plus 1 into x minus 4. We open this is how it opens, and 33 into 2 is 66. So this is the equation which is formed. So 3x square minus 11x minus 70. So for example, here when you are doing this, so you'll write 3x square minus 11x minus 11x, and this will be minus 70. This will be 70. So yeah. So 3x into x is 3x square. 3x is minus 12 is x minus 4. So this will be minus 11x minus 70. And then we do splitting the middle term. So minus 11x can be split as minus 21x plus 10x. I take x minus 7 as common. So x would be equal to minus 10 by 3 and x would be equal to 7. See, a side can't be negative. So x would be equal to 7. So here you can write it, x is equal to 7. You'll have to mention that x's length is never negative. So this is what was done here. So this is how it is written. So x is equal to 7. And then finally, as it is written here, so AB would be equal to 7. AB is 7. CD would be twice of 7 plus 1. That would be 15. So this would be 15. AD is equal to BC, as they have mentioned. See, this is a symbol of equal. So this would be x minus 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. So these are the required answers. So now we have completed this exercise 2.6. We have completed exercise 2.6, and I find all the questions very interesting. And any of you who has done all the questions that has been discussed in this lecture, you have really practiced well, because this encompasses the lot of interesting questions from word equation. But we will continue doing the word problems. We'll do question number 8 and 8 to 15 also. We'll continue this, and hope you like the lecture, and in case there is any doubt, please share it in your comments.